Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning, everybody. Well, we just there as I was reading, we had a little bit of a push down. It is going to be an interesting week. So before I go into the charts, let's look at the news, because I'm not quite sure what is on the docket this week. Very, very important information. Oh, yes. And they changed. I can see the new Twitch TV interface. What the heck? I'm going to need to turn on dark mode. That is ugly. I am not a fan of that. Anyways, let's change the date first. This is the 7th. It's the 7th. Okay, so anyways. Okay, Chairman Powell is speaking today due to deliver brief remarks at the premiere screening of a film titled Mariner Eccles, Father of the Modern Federal Reserve in Salt Lake City. He's in Salt Lake City? What? Why was I not informed? Well, what do I got to do to go? I want to go to that. What the hell? What the hell? Well, they don't even have anything about it on here. That sucks. I'd like to go see that movie. Oh, well. If you have any information on that, you let me know, all right? Maybe we could go. Okay, so that sucks because, yeah, anytime that there's a Federal Reserve speaker. Also, core PPI tomorrow. And then Wednesday, it's not. Oh, okay. So they're not doing the CPI on Wednesday. They're doing it on Thursday. 10-year bond auction. Mr. Powell speaking again due to participate in a panel discussion at a Fed Listens event hosted by the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City. CPI, and then Friday, consumer sentiment. So we do have a decent amount of news this week, but not today. We have a Fed speaker later. So that all of this kind of combines for a difficult week because in the meantime, we've got trade talks going on, right? So
YouTube Winstanza Mom, good morning. Speculatorseth, how was your weekend? Good morning, sexy robot voice. How was your weekend? Did you break any robot laws? I hope not. The movie sounds interesting, Seth.
I know, right? I wanted to go and find out more about the father of the modern Federal Reserve. This sounds like my kind of thing, man. I'm telling you what. Nothing I love better than financial history. Oh, it does not like. No, okay. I saw that error and I'm like, it does not like my ZB. How can we fix this? How can we fix this? We're gonna have to first of all fix that. Okay. Can we do? There we go. Much better. Okay, so anyways, where have you? I hope you watched any of last week. We had some fun last week. We had some good moves last week. But my weekend was okay. I got a lot done on Saturday. I got all my we got all of the yard stuff is prepared for winter for the most part. Probably need to mow it one more time. And I got my garages all cleaned out. So when I finally get weightlifting equipment, I have a place to put it. So all cool with that. But I hope things were good for you. Anyways, so we got a bunch of news. It's a No News Monday. And then they're starting out the morning with a pretty aggressive push down. Now, why are they pushing down? Well, there are trade talks. There are trade talks going on. And the funny thing is that everything that I've read so far, at least, makes it sound like any kind of real deal with the Chinese is not, makes it look doubtful. That the information that I've read makes it sound very doubtful that the Chinese are going to change on the key demands, which are the forced technology transfers, the intellectual property laws, etc., etc., etc. So I don't think that there's going to be a deal, but there does appear to be some pressure to the sell side, possibly because of trade talks. I don't know. So the whole thing basically puts us in a tough position, right? You don't want to be trading when money is coming out of markets. Is the money coming out of the market right now? It could be. Either way, though, they're probably going to be on hold. I think that today I'm not going to take any live trades. Just kind of get a feel for the week. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But like there, and the other thing is that the liquidity is still
YouTube Winstanzamom I watched last week. History in the making, so I didn't want to interrupt your train of thought. Weightlifting, eh? Preparing for carrying baby bags, baby stuff, baby junk, big guns, good idea.
Well, I think I'm already prepared for that. I'm not a big guy, but I'm in shape. I do the weightlifting. The thing is I do weightlifting. I've been doing that and that like Olympic style weightlifting. And I've been doing that for many, many years now. Gosh, it's got to be like almost 6 years, I think. I'm not very good at it. But the thing is that my gym that I go to, it's like 40 minutes away. So once I get some weightlifting gear in here, then I can just come home after work and work out here. And only go there on like Saturdays, maybe when everybody's gone. So that'll be really great because then I'd be able to actually do something after the gym. So I would really like to get some equipment, but I don't think it's going to happen until like January, unless I find some out there for like really cheap. Let's see, what was Donald Trump tweeting about? Inspector General's declassified information contradicts the whistleblower, but why are people surprised? The partisan whistleblower was very wrong on what was said on my perfect no-pressure call with the Ukrainian president. Bring in another whistleblower from the bench. The impeachment thing is kind of interesting, the strategy behind it, because
YouTube Winstanzamom, that was the problem when I went to yoga. Making myself leave the house. I am turning our third bedroom into a yoga, gaming room, and of course, ferret playroom.
A ferret playroom. There you go. I would like to do yoga too, but like the one time that I have available to do yoga would be like on Fridays. And what kind of a yoga studio is open on Friday night, right? No, that's like the one time that they're not open. So, well, they have recovered back up to 24, and now they are in the middle of the range where I really don't want to touch it. What was I going to say on the impeachment? The funny thing about the impeachment is that Republicans are actually a little hesitant to get out there and defend him because they don't know what he's going to say next, and they don't feel like that there's a unified strategy or anything like that. And so they're just kind of like shying away from it and being quiet on the thing. But I feel like he's doing a pretty good job on his own. It's pretty funny. He's getting his message out, and I think that it's a pretty effective message, at least amongst his base. Okay, so let's just go back to the markets again here. I'm just noticing E-mini is pretty choppy. Yeah, it's curious. I'm also Bitcoin. I just noticed had a decent buy back up above 8,000 overnight, but looks like there was a weekend sell. Navarro on NPR says it's a big deal or no deal with China that the real Donald Trump has steady resolve on the issue. Oh, wait, what's Zero Hedge say about algo thought process? Navarro saying no small deal means no trade deal, means no more easing, means QE4, means buy everything. It could be. I tell you what, the buy all of the things. It sure is funny. Also some information in Discord I missed. Let's read this.
YouTube, Winstanzamom, I have been reading about the Tesla numbers 369. I wonder if the formula, which I do not understand yet, could be applied to the bars candlesticks?
I don't know. Could look into that. But I will say there could be, because Fibonacci numbers, golden ratio is absolutely a thing. And in fact, you can notice I would not trade off of Fibonacci numbers. That's one of the craziest ones. Like amongst technical analysis is using Fibonacci numbers for your levels and stuff. But the market absolutely does stuff with them. And I don't think that it's a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing either. Like everybody's looking at it and that's why it works. No. There's that the golden ratio is basically like the most random, the most irrational number. Like mathematically, it's the most irrational number. That's how they derive it. And so if you're looking for a market to be efficient, then they're going to use the golden ratio. So no surprise, you do see it follow some Fibonacci numbers, but yeah, wouldn't use it for your entries. But so these Tesla numbers, I don't know anything about that, but it might be something interesting to watch.
YouTube, Winstanzamom, Elliott wave theory. Fibonacci sequence, yes, we talked about that last month. Why do I think Elliott wave theory? The golden ratio works when you want to hang pictures, lol.
There you go, yeah. Golden ratio, it's a thing to understand. There's a great video on the YouTube channel called Number File, where the guy talks about flowers and why flowers tend to follow golden ratio rules, and it's incredibly interesting. And once he explains that, then you understand why the golden ratio is important. But I've never heard of Tesla numbers. Never heard. And Elliott wave theory is kind of like, well, Elliott wave theory is like such a simple thing. I don't think that you're going to get very far. It's certainly not on a short time frame, right? So another problem that I have is a lot of the stuff that people are talking about, like day trading. It's like, maybe if you were managing a long-term portfolio, these would maybe be interesting, but on a short-term basis, they're almost useless. I need a new Kleenex here. You hate it when you go for a Kleenex, and the Kleenex has like fallen into the box.
YouTube, Winstanzamom, I saw a golden ratio video on YouTube where they golden spiraled Donald Trump's hair and explained his appeal. I failed to see the Mona Lisa connection, but oh well.
No, you ever go to like get a Kleenex and it's like fallen down into the Kleenex box, and then you have to fish it out through the plastic part, you know? Well, I just go over there, and it's all perfect. It's like sitting there waiting for me. I don't have to fish it out or anything. I'm like, awesome. So I would pick it up, and then as I take it, the next one falls back in. The government was supposed to confirm tomorrow the EU rules on state aid, i.e. prohibition on supposedly unfair subsidies, would remain in force after the 31st of October. Downing Street has canceled the announcement, which is a clear sign Johnson Cummings listener all now assume.
YouTube, Winstanzamom, have you ever reached into a Kleenex box only to find a Mika ferret? No. Not unusual in this house.
The rest of this tweet. The UK, that listener now all assume UK is leaving the EU on the 31st of October without a deal. The EU is poised to reject Johnson's offer without the EU state aid constraints. Treasury could pump money into any businesses affected by no deal that need temporary support. New York Fed takes $47 billion in securities of the 47. Okay, so the overnight repo came out exactly. They filled all of the demand. That's good, I guess. Man. So far, it's like clean. Well, for it's like anything that they can kind of get into, huh? What happens if you don't give them like a good enough play area? Do they like start to destroy the house? Is it one of those sorts of things? Oh, the E-mini made a tiny little bit of a move. Yeah, this could be an ugly range. I wonder if they're gonna break a new low here. They're not showing me any kind of they're not showing me any kind of signal, but they are trading. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to read this thing in Discord. I'm like being super ADHD at the moment. There's not much information on treasuries like other markets, yes. But that's also like the best traded one.
YouTube, Winstanzamom, ferrets go under and they go in and they everywhere. Mine are free roam. They are like little tiny kittens and they are well behaved. They have a cage but they prefer my lingerie drawers, no pun there. YouTube, Winstanzamom, GE, freezing pension benefits.
What? Where you read that? Link, do you have a link? Can you give me a link for that? I am super interested in the GE thing because of that guy that said that they have a problem in their pension. Remember that? And now they're going to freeze benefits. Oh my. I see it. I see it on CNBC. General Electric said on Monday.
YouTube, Winstanzamom, Bloomberg.
It was freezing the pension plan for about 20,000 U.S. employees with salaried benefits. Industrial conglomerate is trying to slash its huge pile of debt. The move will also help reduce the company's pension deficit by about $5 billion to $8 billion. Oh boy, that's not cool. I wonder, you gotta wonder, is it really, you know? So you know what's something that really irks me? If I come over here, they have a new live streaming interface on YouTube. But it can only, well, can I manage? No upcoming streams. Use this stream. You know, I want to get into this.
YouTube, Winstanzamom, GE8 United States dollars and 57 cents plus 0.0050, 0.058%, closed, October 7th, 8:35 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Disclaimer per market 8.63 plus 0.060, 0.70%.
I liked the way that you read that out. Yeah, so they haven't moved too much off of it yet, have they? They might get creamed today though. Let's look at, we should come back in tomorrow. Okay, how do I see institutional orders? Okay, so
YouTube, Winstanzamom, there is a good YouTube creator of content in our MBTI community. Frank James. He runs a YouTube creator channel that is small and quite funny and smart. You might like his channel. He is a rock star.
I'll look it up.
YouTube, Winstanzamom, rock as in Canterbury Tales archetypes can't beat the young at heart.
The young at heart. Oh, now all with the spelling that with a J, that just makes me think about China. Things going on in China upset me, guys. I mean, the Hong Kong thing obviously still going on. Basically, genocide basically occurring on in China. And then we're doing this trade deal, and they don't want to change their mind on this trade deal. I think it's funny. Like, come on. Like, I don't think China realizes the alternative here.
YouTube, Winstanzamom, Carl Jung, German doctor and psychologist. YouTube, Winstanzamom, Kant psychologist, archaeologist, philosopher, cave art, symbology of the collective conscious, unconscious.
Carl Jung, German doctor and physicist. Let's see. You know, they started to come down here. I was like getting excited, like, are they going to go for a new low? Okay, they ticked down there kind of randomly. So far, though, they've been a little sly about it. They going to tick back up? That's trying. The 5 years not. 5 years seems to be the one that wants to move down the most, doesn't it? I'd say, though, we're still holding. There's a decent amount of institutional activity out there, especially at like 20.5.
Twitch, Shallion_, I'm considering quitting trading and need some tips. Got funded at 1UP the third time now and finally made some progress and didn't crash the account in 1 to 2 weeks afterwards.
Good job.
I actually made 2 withdrawals and thought that I finally made real progress. But 3 days afterwards I crashed it again. Didn't follow my rules, overdrew my daily loss limit and did trade C should have never entered. This is really frustrating and the worst part, it's always 100% my fault.
Okay, Shaolin. So, first of all, I wouldn't quit. Here's why I would say I wouldn't quit. Most people can't even pass the combine. And for you to have done it 3 times is quite impressive. Now, the split side of that is that if you're doing that, it's probably likely that you are trading big. And so you're going through and you're, making some pretty risky trades until you get lucky or whatever, and then you catch it, and that's where a lot of your profits come from, or you get in and the market happens to be good. I would also suspect, haven't you told us before that you were trading oil? You're trading oil, right? If I remember that correctly. I definitely can recall Shalian coming in and discussing this stuff with us before. They stepped down to the bottom.
YouTube, Winstanzamam, Mariner Eccles KUED. Upcoming episodes: Monday, October 21st, 2019, 9 o'clock p.m. Wednesday, October 23rd, 2019, 12:30 am. Sunday, October 27th, 2019, 2 o'clock p.m. Saturday, November 2nd, 2019, 1 a.m.
I don't think that's it. There's a lot of stuff here in Utah about Mr. Eccles. So that's where we're getting. I'm guessing that it's going to be up at the University of Utah. Oh, okay, so there's
YouTube,
a new low.
Algo Lover, GM winking face just dropping in to say HAGD, thumbs up.
Thank you. No levels, huh? Well, I don't know. Probably no change from last week, huh? I'm waiting to see if Shalin says what he's trading here. They did trade. I suppose they could probably go down a little bit more. When I saw that spike down there, normally you want to take those as a reversal, but I said, oh, maybe they're going to go for it. Because it usually means a push, right?
YouTube, Algo Lover, left
through.
note on other page. Check it out, thinking face.
Oh, is there's a comment on another video? Maybe you should post them in Discord. That would probably be more useful to more people. But
YouTube, Winstanzamam, good morning, Algo Lover just in time to rescue Shalian who is losing his mojo because the fun is gone from his trading. Any words of advice?
Oh yeah, Algo Lover would maybe have some good comments too. This would be one of those sorts of things where maybe you'd comment on a video and other people would see it, and probably there's a couple more people that might comment too. So when you have the time to sit and talk about it, think about it.
YouTube, Algo Lover, from last night, Seth OK Hand.
I got it. I see it right here where if they maintain a bid above 131.14.5, then 132.045 target.
Twitch, Shalian _. Yeah, I trade oil in S and normally not taking that huge of a risk. Usually 6 to 10 ticks stop. The thing is that I am not consistent enough. 2 weeks with good trades with following my rules and management, and then last week happened. 3 days and everything was over again.
Yeah, so okay, so first thing is, let's just make sure that you got good rolls. Like, okay, so you're taking 6 to 10 ticks, stop. Okay, cool. What is like your daily loss limit? What is like I would have a limit on the number of trades that you can take if you're losing. Like if I get 3 losers in a row, stop trading the live account. Came very, very close to that on Thursday, didn't I? But we were able to pull it out. It just sometimes it kind of happened like that. Because the thing is that the distributions are not Gaussian. Does that make sense?
YouTube, Algo Lover, 6:55 a.m. Algo Lover, CL above 51.85 targets 54 Nerdface. YouTube, Algo Lover, Friday 1:03 p.m. Algo Lover, CL buyers need to defend bid above 51.85 to hold this range to higher. If 51.85 breaks before trading back up, then anticipate a deeper pullback. Nerdface still valid.
There you go. So,
Twitch, Shallian_, it's about $500 and so usually 3 losses without a winner.
There you go. Yeah. Well, that's the no. So first thing is I would not. Oh, that's not their loss limit. That's your loss limit. $500 is probably about right. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I was going to say returns are not Gaussian. So if they were Gaussian and you had a profitable strategy, then you would think that it would look something like this. Because it's Gaussian, right? That means that it's randomly distributed. When you look at your winners and losers, it's something like this or whatever it is, Well, that would be like returns, distribution of returns. And we want to have one that is something like here is break even, and we get something like this. That's what we want. Okay. And that would give us this. But the truth is that it's actually probably something like this. Right. Mine is probably something like this. So what's going to happen is you're going to have something like this. It's going to be like a little bit like this. And then you're going to get a really great day. And then you're going to have a really bad day. And then maybe you make it back and you finally have a really good day. Right. And it's going to be much more gappy. Right. So here's going to be the day where you hit your daily loss limit. And here's going to be the day where you had a really, really good trade. Right. And so one of the biggest tricks is when you get that down day, being able to recognize it. What are the conditions that tend to be in the market when you have those days? Like for me, tends to look like today. Okay, here we go. Question. Oh, I turned the bot off for a second. Let me turn it back on. One thing I did, stupid shit in ES, and lost 650 that day. Okay. The next day, I wanted to make it back so badly and just took a trade in CL with a 20 tick stop and hoped to make it back. You broke your rules. Had enough time to get out of the trade, was even 15 ticks ahead and didn't take it. And yeah, after that, I totally crumbled and it was over. I don't know why I couldn't just kick out the trade. Yep. You're revenge trading. So yeah, this happens. It is a natural inclination. I do it. I'd even say that I've done it recently, not on my live account, but I've definitely done it recently on Sim. And you
YouTube,
might
Winstanzamam, KUED, advanced screening of the new film, Mariner Eccles, Father of the Modern Federal Reserve, on Monday, October 7th. The screening will be open to the public.
Do you have a link for that? Because I would like to go if I could. If it's open to the public, I want to go and watch it.
YouTube, Algo Lover, ZN, they are working down again. Now we'd watch to see if they hold bid at these levels again or not, with 131, 145 being line in sand to defend Thinking Face.
That would be so cool and exciting if I
YouTube,
could go.
Winstanzamam, the event will be held at the Rose Wagner Performing Arts Center. Doors will open at 10:30 a.m. and guests must be seated by 10:45 a.m. The screening of the film will start promptly at 11 a.m.
Link. I'm getting excited. Can you see? I'm getting flustered. I'm like,
sorry to interrupt.
Can I go? Give me a link. Where's the link? How do I get tickets? Do I have to have tickets? Mariner S. Eccles documentary. Right here.
YouTube, Winstanzamam, Chamber of Commerce Powell will deliver remarks. YouTube, Algo Lover, gotta run thumbs up.
Free tickets available. Sorry, tickets are currently not available. Oh my gosh, I'm crushed. I'm crushed. I think that it's already sold out. That sucks, guys. So sucks. It doesn't say anything. Maybe I would have to call them. Phone, maybe later. Okay, so anyways. Back to our friend here. Breathe for a second. Okay, so this is a natural thing that will happen, revenge trading, right? And here again is the key thing is you've got to have some way of detecting when you're doing it and get yourself out of that mode, right? One of the if you do that, if you notice yourself starting to do that, then I would recommend putting yourself on sim or whatever it is for a few days and then coming back to it, because your mind basically gets into this like this mode. I don't know if it's like a chemical thing or what. Chamber of Commerce page. The what? Whose Chamber of Commerce? Oh, why is it not reading it? Oh, I didn't click it. Normally, I accept losses and manage to not get frustrated by the markets for some weeks, but then there always comes a day where I just fail, and 2 to 3 stupid days destroy the progress I made in like 15 days. I always realize when it is too late, and one of the worst rebukes of mine is not staying with $500 losses. I even moved my stop and took on both days 650 and the other one 950. Yeah, no, it's a normal thing, right? So you're dealing with
YouTube,
okay,
Salt Lake City Chamber of Commerce.
It's a normal thing. It's totally a normal thing. So don't freak out, right? It's just it's a normal thing, and it's going to take a while to get over it because you were basically fighting your natural inclinations at that point, right? So just try and think of it systematically and think of it as like, okay, this is something that I know I have a problem with.
YouTube, Winstanzamam, KUED.
Okay. It's a normal thing that I deal with. So, you know, what are some things that I can do to mitigate it in the meantime, and what are some things that I've got to do to you know, to stop myself when it's happening. And you got to think of it as like you know, behavioral modification, because you have a pattern. You have a pattern where you'll have a $500 loss day. So immediately the first thought that comes to my mind is if you hit your limit that day, then the next day you have to take it off. And it's probably because the market conditions are bad for you. So maybe taking a few days off is a good idea. Like it could be, you know, like I'm just thinking about oil lately. I mean, oil's been all over the place, right? And so you're having a move the wrong way or that you don't expect, you know?
Shalian, you are also fighting brain chemicals. The slot machine effect or the smartphone effect. We get a shot of dopamine when we pull the slots, the trader dial to order a pizza, lol.
See, you get a shot of dopamine when you get in a trade and it works out for you. And then when you are trading poorly, you don't get that shot. And you will try harder and harder to try and get it, but you're not getting it, and you will start to put on more and more risk to try and get it. And because your brain isn't getting those chemicals that it wants, actually becomes harder to
Google the Monte Carlo effect and maybe play on paper for 1 month and see how you do when you are stress-free and playing for fun.
Yeah, and basically because you're not getting the chemical, your ability to self-regulate is diminished, right? Because you don't have the chemicals going through, you know. Why does it take me to June? That's so weird. Okay, so if I come to the Salt Lake Chamber of Commerce, where am I looking here? I wasn't sure if it was going to be org or edu. Yes, I see that right there. Events and screenings. Make some remarks.
YouTube, wrong ZH, Seth he.
Hi, wrong. So here's the link. Some remarks, blah 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 blah. Where he is.
YouTube, Winstanzamam, Carl Jung compares this to a rider on a horse. Our ego is the rider but our ID. Our hidden desires and self are the horse and we simply can lead the horse to water, but why won't the darn horse drink?
And they move lower.
Twitch, Shallian _, the thing is both those bad days should not have been losses. Because there was not a single valid trade. Just some clicking
there
because
you
it might
go.
work, etc. Like thinking, yes, CL gonna break yesterday's high for sure, get in here now for 40T and all your losses will be gone. I need someone to taser me when I want to do stupid trades lol. YouTube, Winstanzamam, good morning, wrong ZH 432 Hz are very good musical notes. 10 watching now. Please hit like.
Yes, thank you. Shalin, I mean, I've totally done that, right? One of the big changes that I made that I really helped me out was when I started doing some statistical analysis on my instrument and determined situations when I was likely to do well or likely not to do well. For instance, I know if it's a Monday that I'm significantly less likely to do well. So I came in today, and the fact that there's all the trade deal and all this sort of stuff going on, the first thing I did was I turned my DOM to sim and said, I don't think that I want to take any live trades today. There's no news. I'm not likely to do well today. And that makes a big difference. But then it's also looking at things in the market to confirm that. You know, like if I come in here and I don't see any institutional orders, then I know it's likely to be choppy. If I come in and I can see that there's not all that much on the DOM, well, they're doing I mean, it's 2000 and that's what it's been, so I don't know if I can read too much into that, but not a whole lot on the DOM doesn't really speak well to good move. I mean, we did have a good move down, don't get me wrong, but would I have actually gone short and caught that? Especially when I got my signal, would I have gone short? I don't know. So when I'm not seeing here, I am seeing, I think maybe where you got that from. See, here it is, the blah 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 blah. Here it is, but I don't get anything. And then when I come over here to the place, sorry, tickets are not currently available. Please contact our box office. Right? But then they're probably not even open. So, like, now where is this? This is the, where is this? Is that up at the university or is that downtown? It's downtown. No, it's right near me. Well, it's pretty close to where I... 300 south. So it's down this way. You were describing a flow state, Seth. You feel the trades and everything feels zen, or maybe you feel better. Angel takes the day off, and then anyone says FOMO. No. Well, so this is another thing: is if you're having an issue, sit, look at your spot. I have a spot. It's right here, right? This is where I focus my eyes, and then I'm slowly trying to see more. I can see these two. And I can kind of see the charts out of the corner of my eye, and I can kind of see the chat out of the corner of my eye. and just try and expand your peripheral vision. And that will tend to put you into a state where you're more likely to see everything and put your emotions aside. And then you might say, okay, yeah, this is not right. I'm breaking my limit. Yeah, but how do I... The question is, I don't know. So I was just wondering, are those all of the pages that you were looking at? So here's the I haven't found it on the Salt Lake Chamber of Commerce, but here it is on the KUED page. They have stuff about it, but they don't say anything about how to get tickets. And I come in here and they don't say anything about, I don't see anything about it at all. And then when I come here, it says that tickets aren't available. So I don't know if that means that it's already sold out or if you have to do something. They're not available. So I would have to call them to get the information about how to get them, probably. Okay, there was something else. I don't know where I got the name. I think my normal account name was taken, so I just came up with Shellyan. I'm not a good range trader, so normally I don't trade ranges, more momentum and trend, and my biggest normal weaknesses are V reversals, like got limit down in 20-25 minutes with 3 trades. One was the Chicago PMI came out, and I was still thinking short, but this last day should have been fine. The others, not at all yet. That's, yeah. I mean, this is exactly the sort of thing that I do, right? You just gotta, you'll get better at it as you go. I would say that I still have problems. The only thing that I have that keeps me from going full on tilt is literally 3 trades. I'm done. 3 losers in a row. I'm done. Whatever that ends up being. I'd switch it. And if you really feel like you got to keep trading, trade it on Sim. Switch your account. I don't know if that's hard to do on your platform, but in Jigsaw, you just switch which one you're connected to. Now let's come here, maybe here on the Salt Lake Chamber of Commerce Twitter. Maybe not. Maybe if I search Google for this, paste and search. Oh, here's the Salt Lake Chamber of Commerce one. Okay. That was just where I clicked, right? Get tickets. Not available. Where was I? Do it here. I guess I could try that. Hopefully it won't break that rule. Sometimes I just have this self-destructive behavior and I think, F it. This trade is either going to work or like kill me. I need to change my mental game somehow. No. But another thing that hurts is when you're like close. Like, I mean, this is the problem with the combines, in my opinion, is that they put you on such a short leash that it's like if you stop performing well at all, you're so close, and then you start going, well, heck, I might as well just swing for it, and that's bad. And I don't know. For me, I don't know how to overcome that. For me, I come over to my live account. And so when I start to get to that point, I just kind of say, okay, clearly this market isn't good for me. I can just move over to Sim for a couple of months until it's a favorable market again. And by then I'll have put a little bit more money in it and, whatever. See, it doesn't tell me. It doesn't tell me with the their hours. Review summary, upcoming events. Blah 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 blah. So I would have to go there. Well, let me try calling them. It's 7 o'clock, but maybe their answering machine will say what their business hours are. So they say they're not open until 10. My idea was to get more experience while doing the combine, and yeah, when I crash it, I don't lose real money, which would have hurt more. Yeah, but your brain doesn't know the difference, man. So the thing is like, I don't know. There's something about the way to put the stress on you that your body doesn't know. It's just like when you sit there and you daydream about being in a relationship with a certain girl. It's like your brain doesn't know the difference. It thinks that it's in the relationship with the person, and it can do weird things to you. Even if it's not, it doesn't know that it's sim or live. You do though. That can make a difference, but it doesn't. That I don't think that it cares that it's your account or it's their account. It still knows that there's money, and that you get a certain feeling when you take a trade or whatever. So, man, I really hope that they're not sold out because I really want to go. Oh man, so bad. I want to go so bad. Well, I'll call them at 10, and then if they don't pick up, I will walk down there. And I'm gonna try. Well, maybe we'll get to meet him. That would be cool. I doubt it. Don't tell yourself that, Seth. It's not gonna happen. I can feel myself. I think if I was trading, I would probably switch. I probably should switch it off right now, just because the thought of seeing him live makes my heart aflutter. It's like that's exciting. That's so exciting to me. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm a little distracted. But listen, Shaliana, so here's one more thing that I would tell you is Mr. What is his name? Wait, I have to find his name in his website. Brett Strenberger. Brett Strenberger. If you just search for trading psychology, you'll see it's like here, there he is, right there. How to master trading psychology, Brett Strenberger. I think that's how you say his name. And he has some books and stuff, and he's done lots of interviews, so you can talk. But he goes into the thing where it's like, look, you have like a trained behavior now. And so to break it, it's going to probably require more than just saying, I need to exercise more willpower. Okay. Probably part of the reason why you're having so much trouble with it is because willpower is the only thing that you're doing. And when you get into that point, you know, the chemicals are all gone and your ability to do that is diminished. You just got to turn it off. The combines don't do that for you, unfortunately. That's kind of where I don't. You know, this is where like S5 trading, for instance, is really good, right? He says, okay, here's your limits. And if you start trading, in a poor way, we're going to turn it off and we're going to come and talk to you. We're going to have an intervention. With any gambling, there's the winning money part, and then the very important, there's the beating the game part that can really be seen with slot machine players who just keep putting money in. Yeah. Slot machines, it's like if you catch one, you quit. I can't tell you how many times I've been to, I've only been to Las Vegas like 3 or 4 times, but when I've gone with friends, it'll be like, okay, let's put in like $5 into penny slots and play. So I would go and do the penny slots. And then when I would win, and maybe I would win like $30, and it'd be like, okay, cool, let's go to the buffet. And then that would be it. Because you won once, you're extremely unlikely to win again. And it always would be a place to put, I don't want to call somebody at 7 o'clock in the morning our time. Should be. I think, though, just from what I'm reading, it seems like that they're probably sold out. They're probably sold out. Let me just come back here really quick. If I go here, here's this one. No, not that one. Arctics. So let's see if we can just find a show. Okay, buy tickets. This one's really far in advance. Buy tickets. And then I get this. I don't know. It's weird. I read that the only casino games where one can have any edge are sports betting and poker. Yeah, well, you can certainly be long-term profitable in poker. Although it gets kind of complicated as I understand it once you get good. Oh, what was Shalin saying here? Let me just turn this back on. Well, my plan is I'm going to call them at 10 and or walk down there. So, and I will keep that person.
YouTube Winstanzamom, when we go to the theater in Manhattan or anywhere really, we always do the stage door afterwards. The actors appear and talk to us. You might try doing something like that. Be there before or after.
Sure. I'm going to bet, though, that he's not going to stay and watch it. I could be wrong, but...
Twitch, Dojo 2022. I went to Vegas once, stayed for 5 days and didn't play a single game. YouTube, Stickball. What's up, Seth? Show us your winner.
Show us your winner? What, you mean the one from Friday? You want to see it on here? Oh, I have it. I already have it on here. There you go. Look at that. But see, here was the tilt day. Took 3 trades and I stopped. Right? And then I started the next day with a loser, so I was really, really unhappy.
YouTube,
and then I made it all
Stickball.
back.
Say 16-tick winner in the title.
Oh, that's right. I didn't get rid of that. I should get rid of that. That was from Friday. Let's get rid of that. That was from Friday. That was our 16 tick winner. It was great. I'm super proud of myself. Of course, all of this, not so proud of. But you know what? We were trading our strategy. It happened. Okay. It's okay.
Twitch, Shallian _. I know that feeling lol.
I know that feeling. Well, and the thing was, as I was getting there, like, I only feel comfortable talking to you about this because I was right there. I was like, I really wanted to keep trading.
Mom, Shallian, my husband and I like to go to Vegas and we like casinos for a weekend getaway. Hotel while he plays blackjack. He can make his bankroll last all weekend, but he has his FOMO times too.
I could have kept going, and there has been times in the past where I did, but no, I said, nope, this straight up, we stop right here. And then I came over here and I said, well, I might need to just not go. I might need to stop trading for a little bit because this isn't working out for me for whatever reason. But then we caught this one that was just amazing. And I was a little concerned that maybe I was revenge trading, but I looked back on it and I followed my strategy. So that one feels really good. But this is also why I'm still going. Your losses are smaller than your winners. Good job. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, a lot of my winners
YouTube,
are really big.
Stickball, I can see you are. YouTube, Stickball, your losses are smaller than your winners. Good job, Seth.
Yeah. If I go back even further, let's make sure that we can't. So if we go back even further, so not all of these were live. Oh wait, we turn on that off now. We can see that not all of these were live. But you can see, generally speaking, I'm getting 3 to 8 ticks on my winner. There was one that I only took 5 for, but then I'm only taking 3 to 4 on my losers. I really think I should try and, yeah, I'm getting -4 a little bit too often, and that bothers me. That one, I don't know how that one happened. Oh, that was because it was on 2 contracts. That was on Sim, of course. There was like that one right there. I think that was revenge trading. That was like it was a Sim account and something had gotten screwed up, and so I said, okay, we'll just size up and whatever. So when I see that the performance is 1252 over the past 3 weeks or whatever, it's probably not. In reality, it's
Twitch, not. Shallian _ and this mind game is missing. Instead of saying, I need to stop, I just try to trade more and make it back. And that usually just makes it worse. Yeah.
You gotta just stop for that day. Like the first thing that you need to realize is that that's why I started where I did, right? The first thing that you need to realize is that the distributions aren't Gaussian, which means that if your strategy is not working that day, it's most likely to continue not working that day. And so you've got to stop trading and wait for another day when the market's more favorable to you. And that could even include, staying out for an extended period of time. Like, okay, this summer is not good for me. I'm not going to trade all summer. Or, this down move. So sometimes you get something like, let's just say that we knew that it was going to move down. Let's just say that my bias was short coming in today, and I took it short. And then they stopped me out here. Or I took it short at here, and they stopped me out here. Here and here. Something, or I tried a continuation here and here. I don't know how it would have worked out, but they have a way of doing it. Here it's really churny. Maybe you say, okay, it's moving down, but because it's moving down, money's coming out of the market, and so they make it a lot harder for you to catch a trend. That is often what is happening. I think today is most likely people taking profits, but I digress. If I'm having a bad day, then you just got to say you got to stop. until something changes that you know is favorable.
Winstanzamom, Speculatorseth, try checking the Republican Salt Lake City Facebook page and see what they have posted about today and Powell's remarks. Maybe they have tickets.
Oh, the Republican Party, maybe, huh? They're probably talking about it in the Facebook groups, and I didn't even see. Okay. Fundraising, photos, groups. UTGOP, right? Yeah, posts. I don't see any posts about it recently. This Facebook page? Yeah, I don't see. Facebook really, really wants me to advertise with them.
YouTube, Stickball, we will need to wait till the open interest data comes out for today to be able to tell if today is mostly just profit taking.
Yeah, probably. But you can, I mean, there's ways of looking at it, right? Especially when you consider the time.
Winstanzamom, Utah Republican Party.
Yeah, that was... Well, there's two. There's a political organization and... This one's slightly different. Let's see, I still don't see any posts from them recently. Last post from them is October 1st. This one is even further back. Oh, then this one's the Utah County. That's why.
Twitch, Shallian_, well, thanks for all the help. Need to leave soon, but got many things to think about to improve my trading.
Yeah. But going back to it, if you were able to pass a combine, I wouldn't give up. Just, realize it might take a really long time to overcome it. And, just don't blow a ton of money while you're figuring it out.
YouTube, Winstanzamom, what about the airline? Might your wife's company offer anything like that?
No, I don't think so. I really think they put them available to the public. I don't know. Am I being defeatist? Am I being defeatist here? When I come in here, tickets are not currently available.
YouTube, Winstanzamom, bye. Shallian, it was interesting talking to you today, and I know you will find you flow state in the fun.
Well, I'm surprised that it's only 7:25. I feel like that we've been talking for a long time. Let's come back here to... Oh, look, there's a Facebook event. One post in the discussion.
YouTube, Winstanzamom, try CME group.
The CME group, why would they have? They have something on it? Is this the same KUED page? Nope.
YouTube, Rich Porta, GM, can you do a video on how you set up your charts?
Sure. So what is it about my charts that interests you? That you would like to be able to do, or that... Let me pull this over here so it's not covering things up for you guys. On this page, it only shows, on the Facebook page, it only shows 5 people going. So I'm sitting here like, it can't actually be like sold out, is it? Doesn't look like there's that much public interest. But I mean, you didn't give me there wasn't anything. I don't know. The thing is that my charts aren't too. There's nothing all that special about my charts, except for, of course, my little indicator that I'm keeping to myself. But even that, it's not terribly complicated. There was a robot hitting into that. So a little bit of flow coming in long and 20. That's curious. The 5-year did not tick up as much as the 10-year did there. We're getting some spreading activity. We're getting some flattening. We're getting some flattening.
YouTube, Winstanzamom. I linked the page from CME Group, but it may appear as spam. Try cmegroup.com/education/econoday/2019/10/feed 508,402.html.
I think all you got to do
YouTube,
is put like
Rich
one
Porta,
space in it.
I want to know what indicators, time frames you use for futures compared to stock trading.
Okay, so I'm for my charts that you see on the page right here at the moment, that is a one range chart, right? So the reason that I do a one range chart is that I want to see every move. I want to see every time that it ticks up and ticks down. Every time. And I think I got that link. I think you can put in the link, but you just have to put like one space after the. No, I don't see the. That didn't work. I don't know. If you see somewhere that actually says like get tickets, then let me know. Or maybe put it in the Discord or something. Anyways, so this is a one range chart. So literally every time that it ticks up, so like right here, okay, you traded into 20.
Twitch for one night _judge. What are you doing? I barely got here.
We're trading 10-year Treasury futures. Well, we're not trading them right now. We're just watching them because I'm not too thrilled about this action. But so I was going to say a one range chart. Okay, some orders went into 20, some orders went into 19.5. That's a bar.
For one night _judge. Okay, nice.
Cool. So if we ticked up and then a few orders went into 20.5, that would be a new bar. And that's how you get that. So you can see there, okay, they've ticked up and down a couple of times. There are some things that you can tell from that. So I like one range chart on the Treasury futures. I really like range charts in general. But here's the thing, and I have a video on my page. I'm not an adherent to technical analysis. I don't watch technical analysis. Everything that I have on here is just to give me context and help me remember. Like I can remember, okay, there was this really quick move down, but then we kind of slowly pushed it down here. And then there was a pullback, and they pushed down and they made another new low. And now we're kind of going sideways a little bit. And the E-mini is opening up. Let's make that so we can see cumulative delta on that. Okay. And then this right here is all market buys minus market sells. And we can see overall, Pretty steady selling the whole day. Okay. And then this is the thing that really matters, which is the limit orders. And I could see there was a reversal signal there. And there was this continuation signal where they said they were going to make a new low and then a reversal right there. That they pushed a lower first. So it's being a difficult market overall, but there's still some pretty decent institutional activity. So probably they are selling it and hedging themselves. I show this thing right here. This tells me the swings. So I can see it was 6 ticks down, 6 ticks up, 13 ticks down, 4, 4, 4. So maybe I could have gotten that, but then all this I don't want to be
YouTube, Winstanzamom, another idea. Check Twitter and ask how to get tickets to see Powell if you have an account.
Oh, you don't have a Twitter account? You don't have a Twitter account? Unless I see somewhere that says tickets. I think our best bet is calling the box office, right? So, we'll see what we get. E-mini is being a little, what is the word? A little choppy as well. There wasn't an immediate sell like there has been.
YouTube, Winstanzamom, if the box office is distributing tickets at 1000 AM like they do with a Britney Spears concert, aging myself now, then you will want to be prepared to sit online and redial until you get through.
Right.
YouTube, Rich Porta, thank you.
I suppose I could walk down there before they open and see if they're...
YouTube, Stickball, Seth, do you find that price often begins to range/consolidate right after when the market makes a volatile move?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like that you're getting at something specific, and I'm not quite sure what you're saying, but I mean, there can be consolidation anywhere, you know. You never know. Usually the way the treasuries tend to work is that they do have like a specific price that they're trying to get to. Like it'll move until it gets to that spot, and then when it gets to that spot, let's just say that the spot was 20 today.
YouTube,
then it'll
nope, just in general.
It'll just trade in here in that 20 until there's, you know, like 80,000 contracts have traded back and forth there or something like that. And it can be awfully frustrating. And it's really hard to know, you know, is it going to trend or is it going to range? Because there's these big guys that move it and they can do it whatever they really want, and they can make it go from one to the other in an instant, you know? So I tend to look more at trying to figure out what the large players might be trying to do. Okay,
YouTube,
there is some selling coming into the ES.
When Allie had his funeral, my husband drove to Louisville and waited in line for 2 tickets. Then he drove home and we went to the funeral a day or 2 later. He was one of the last to get tickets. YouTube, Stickball, it's such a rangy market.
Wow. We've been getting good trends lately, but I would say that so far in the 10-year, it looks like a Monday to me. The E-mini looks like a Monday to me. I think that we'll probably get a little bit more selling here, and everybody might think that it's like gonna get dramatic, and then that'll recover or something like that. They always kind of make it look scary first, you know? My head is still on Mr. Pal now. This is so bad. Yeah, this is kind of a funny sort of a thing. There is some big liquidity down there. How long has that been there for? That's been there for a while. In fact, that's probably been there. It has been there ever since we started making the move down, in fact. How come I can't see it anymore? What the what? Well, that's weird. There, now I can see it. That was weird. Anyways, but they've added more down there. See this? This is where they could be playing all sorts of tricks to try and get people to go long again.
YouTube, stickball. I feel like there would be less predatory traders trading in a market like that where you have more people with a clue. YouTube, Winstanzamom. How is Mrs. Speculatorceth feeling? My niece is pregnant with a little girl. Your girls will be close in age. She is a nice young lady who will be a most excellent mother, and so will your missus.
So for statistics question, I think all trading is predatory to some degree, Stick, because and when you really look at it, you want to make money from it going up or down in your direction, and in order to get filled, somebody has to go against you the other direction, and so it's always about, you know, trying to get the other trader to do something that's not the right thing. Now, of course, you can be trading on different time frames, and so you can be getting a little bit of money from a larger time frame player, and it's not a huge deal to them, but you're still taking a little bit out from them. I mean, the money comes from somewhere, right? This is where it gets, you know, a little fuzzy when people talk about manipulating markets, because it's like you can't trade without affecting the market to some degree. So at what level does it become manipulation? There's not a good answer. We don't have a good answer to that. So, and especially when you get into treasury markets and we say, well, there's more people with a clue. Well, there is, but you know what? There's also a lot of robots that just kind of do whatever. And there is a decent amount of retail traders trading this, I think. And it's an extremely efficient instrument. And so, yeah, you're going to find it's going to do that sort of stuff a lot, where it really will seem like it's going to move up and then it doesn't, you know? does this all the time.
YouTube, Winstanza Mom. I should not have written, girls, that is an assumption and you know the old joke, but girls slipped out for some reason. Something in the air feels feminine, lol.
You don't know if it's a boy or a girl. Mine is a boy. I know it's a boy. So. But she's doing pretty good. She's been having foot pain. And I'm not quite sure what to tell her about it. Because it sounds like it's starting to make her very unhappy. So see there, it ticked up. Nobody's traded into 21 yet, so hasn't made a new bar. Okay, there it is. But see, that's like, there's a range, and then there's a strange impetus to move it out, but then very well often will fall back in.
YouTube, stickball, those traders aren't manipulating the market, they're just trying to fill their large positions, lol.
Yeah, but, you know, it's still manipulating. I mean, how you get filled, right? It's especially if you're a big trader. You're going to have to make it look like it's going to tick down. And then, oops, just kidding. There's an iceberg there, right? Is that not manipulating the market? I mean, I don't think it is.
Nia_Kalepo, what's up, dude?
Hey, thank you. We've had a lot of people
YouTube,
stop in from
Mom, foot pain.
Twitch.
What kind of pain? Has she been tested for gestational diabetes yet?
Right. That was my first thought. It sounds like inflammation pain. And
Twitch, Nia_Kalepo, what you got going on there?
Yeah, hold on a
YouTube,
second.
Winstanza Mom, cramps might mean she needs potassium. Does she like bananas?
No, not cramps. I don't think it's cramps. I think it's like inflammation. And that was the first thing that I said was like, are you sure you don't have gestational diabetes? And I don't remember what she said to that, but she dismissed it. So Nia, what we're doing is we're trading 10-year Treasury futures. Mostly we're yapping because Monday can be a difficult day to trade. But we're trading 10-year Treasury futures. Maybe potentially make money. The place that you want to watch, if you have no clue what's going on, the place that you want to watch is over here. This is the 10-year Treasury. Okay, so this is the price. 10-year Treasuries are priced in 1/64th of $1,000, which comes out to be like $15.625 a tick. Okay, so that's why it'll go. Here's 14, 14.5, 15, 15.5, 16. And then when you get to 32.5, and then it will go back to 0, right? We do that because these ones are, this one is 132, this one is 1/64th, and this
Twitch,
is
Nia_Kalepo, cool, what is it?
Okay, so that's the pricing. And so each one of these is a price, and then these are the buyers and sellers on each side. How many there are at each level. So we're watching how much trades in between each here and watching each tick, how much it takes
Twitch,
to tick it up and down.
Nia_Kalepo, is it online currency?
No, these are Treasuries.
YouTube, Winstanza Mom, I was tested at 6 months for gestational diabetes and I tested positive with my son. I gained 60 pounds and I am tiny. And I craved McDonald's, which Eric still loves to this day, ick.
Huh. I could look into that again. No, these are 10-year Treasury futures. So this is like when the U.S. government borrows money from people. That's what we're trading. And these are futures, so it's a derivative of them. Essentially what happens is people when you do this, one Treasury future is an agreement to deliver $1 million worth of treasuries in December, essentially. But we don't hold it until then. We just, we get in and we get out. And it requires about $500 per contract in margin to hold. So $500 and you can trade a contract. The value of, like how much margin you put in doesn't change based on as it moves up or down, which is kind of a nice thing about futures. You don't have to worry about, right? You just know, okay, I have a $5,000 account and I only want to risk 1%, so I can trade one contract. Okay. So then each time it ticks up or down, you make
Twitch,
$15.
Nia_Kalepo, can you and are you making money?
I made money last week. I made well, like on Friday, I took a 16 tick trade, and that ended up being $250, which I was very, very pleased with. But we're trading very small, so it's kind of just mostly just a hobby. Like, I'm not living off of it, but yeah, you can make money off of it. It's hard. I won't lie. It takes years and years and years to get to that point where you can even be like even marginally consistently profitable. It takes a lot of work. You have to learn a lot. You have to learn a lot about the market that you're trading. You have to learn a lot about trading itself. You have to learn a lot about yourself. So it's very difficult. But with enough time, and if you're lucky, you can make money. Probably most people don't. Okay, I think they say that 75% of people give up within a year. 75% give up within a year. It probably takes 3 to 4 years to really start getting good. Okay. So yeah, it's a difficult thing. Wouldn't do it unless you like really enjoy trading. You really enjoy the market that you're trading. Central bank policy is something that I find extremely interesting. How much higher are they going to go? I mean, they're kind of giving me signals that they might flip back down. But they've been moving up because the E-mini continues to move down. And the E-mini is coming to
Twitch, Nia_Kalepo. What got you into this and how long have you been?
So I think the thing that really first got me into it was when the 2008 crisis happened. I was really into politics, and I realized very quickly that the way that markets worked was something that was important.
Stickball. If you're only doing it for the money and not because you find it fun, then don't waste your time.
Yeah, exactly. If you're only doing it for the money, you're actually likely to screw it up at some point. Yeah, just you're not going to have the interest to keep going beyond long enough, right? Like if you only do it for the money, you're going to put in 3 to 4 years every day and not be getting your reward. Probably not. But if the market itself interests you, then you will. Anyways, I started looking at markets, and then eventually I realized that this style of trading was the most consistent. And so I focused on that.
YouTube, Stickball, yup, Seth.
Thank you. I focused on 10-year treasuries because it was the most consistent, and you can read the order flow. But then, the more that I get into Federal Reserve policy, the more interesting it becomes to me. We're sitting here talking, the Federal Reserve chairman is apparently in town right now and is going to be giving a few quick remarks at a movie screening. And I really want to go.
YouTube, Stickball, willpower will only take people so far.
Oh, yeah. Listen, they've done studies on this. You have a limited amount of willpower. You could actually take the advantage of this on somebody, right? Because when you exercise willpower, it uses the chemical.
This week's biggest risk event is the return of U.S.-China trade negotiations on Thursday and Friday, wrote Hussein Syed, chief market strategist at FXTM.
I have no clue who that is, but that's certainly the case. Although the issue with the U.S.-China trade negotiations is that, like, we'll have no clue what's going on, It certainly does, put a damper on the volatility until that happens, all right? I mean, we had an okay move down, don't get me wrong, but it's come back up. It's still kind of slow. Anyways, there are chemicals in your brain that you have to use to exert willpower. And when you use all of that chemical up, your ability to exert willpower is diminished, essentially. So if you're trying to seduce somebody, right? Force them to exert willpower all day until you get to the end of the day, and then, they can't do it anymore. They'll just give in. You could do that.
Twitch, Dojo 2022, US-China deal is on and off more than me and my high school girlfriend. YouTube, Winstanzamam, Vice Premier Liu He recently told dignitaries that China will not commit to reforming industrial policies or government subsidies, two of the Trump administration's main complaints, Bloomberg reported.
Yeah. So that's where I'm like, man, because they're going to do what they do every time, right? We're going to sit around here. We're going to say, oh, maybe something will happen. And then Friday comes along.
Winstanzamam, this theory, which is known as willpower depletion, likens willpower to a muscle that can get fatigued from overuse.
Yes. We'll get to Friday, and they'll be like, here's what will happen. The administration will come out and they'll say, well, we think that trade deals are going really well.
Nope, just watch a Joe Rogan motivational video. Instant plus 10 willpower.
There you go. There you go. No, we'll go till Friday. And they'll say, like, everything's good and the market will be happy. And then, like, a few days later, we'll realize that nothing's happening. Like, or China will do something mean. Like, who knows? I mean, it's just, when trading is dominating, I mean, when there's a headline out, oh, it's awesome, right? Right? Like, when China was manipulating their currency and
Twitch, Nia_Kalepo. How much money have you made since you've started this?
Well, so if you look at pretty much like everything I've done in trading, probably I'm going to say I've made about $1,000. But not all of that came from this. You know, it's a really interesting question because it comes into like, oh, there's different ventures and there's different time frames. You know, like I could look at this year, I've been doing pretty well. Okay. I've had a couple of periods where I've made a lot, but I don't trade every day on live. Today, if I take a trade today, it's probably going to be sim. You know, last week I was mostly trading live because I knew that the market was active. So I've had some periods, you know, of profitability where it was only on sim, and so maybe you don't count that. But then
YouTube, Stickball, lol, $1,000 is what many people would consider break-even, Seth.
Yeah, you're probably
YouTube,
right.
Winstanzamam, Joe Rogan, Intellectual Dork Web. I like his channel. Sam Harris, Malcolm Gladwell, and even a Ben Shapiro who is still in good standing. I believe Stephen Fry of Fry and Laurie and Christopher Hitchens. Twitch, Nia_Kalepo. You sound like a teacher, lol. Twitch, Nia_Kalepo. Very smart.
Oh, I don't know if I'm all that smart, to be honest. Listen, there's so much nuance. I don't know. I say what I do. I present it this way because one of the key things I think you have to understand to be able to trade markets is that the world doesn't fit into all of these neat little boxes. We all want to have the world be like, okay, if you do this thing, you trade this way, you know, okay, maybe you might lose sometime, but over the long term, you're always going to win.
When did you start trading futures, Seth?
Man, it was like 2016, basically. Yeah. Anyways, you disrupted my thought. You know, this is my problem here. No, we want to say, you know, if you always buy when X happens, that you're going to win 60% of the time and you're going to make this much when you do it. And when you do all of the math, everything comes out and you're a winner. And then you can just do that for the rest of your life. But the world doesn't fit into these neat little boxes. The market will change. You'll have a strategy and it'll work well in that strategy. And then a couple of months are going to go by. Different things are going to be impacting the markets. And it's not going to trade the same way. You have to come up with a different strategy. There's going to be that one time where you take that trade and it's going to just work absolutely terribly for you. Why? Because the world does not fit into these tiny little boxes. Everything tends to defy any kind of organization or categorization that you could possibly put on it. Think about the classification systems for animals. How many times have they had to reorganize the classification system for animals? Because they go and they find this new animal that doesn't quite fit in their classification scheme, and they have to change things, right? So because the world doesn't fit into these neat, tiny little boxes. So anytime that we ask a question in trading, there's nuance to it. Are you profitable? Well, for that answer to be useful to you, it depends on a lot of different things. If you look at just this year, yeah. If you look at like overall, no. But I changed my strategy around August. I made a very significant change in the way that I trade. Been doing really, really well since then. Does the performance before then even matter in terms of trying to convince you if you do this, if it would be worth it to you or not? I don't think it does. But at the same time, past performance is not indicative of future results. And this could just completely stop working from this week forward. We don't know. It depends on, differences in the market and how much longevity this strategy actually has, which we don't know. Yeah, Dojo says black swans. And so that's why I'm kind of trying to give you some nuance on it. I made some good money from cryptocurrencies. If you go and you look at my Patreon, and I post a chart every day, and that chart has been really good, and it's still working. It's telling you to not get in. It's telling you, even though it went up, that it's manipulating. You don't want to be in it. It's amazing, and I made so much money off of that. When I look at futures trading, I did it one time and I blew that account. And then I did it a second time and I made a ton of money and then I lost it again. So that one was kind of break even. And now I've taken a few trades here and there and I'm making a little bit. But you're right. It's pretty much mostly break even for the most part. You said animals and Juliet Ferret walked across my keyboard. I have no idea what she said, but it usually translates to Duke. Anyways, so just trying to put some nuance on it for you. But, if you're considering, do I want to do this? Then the big question that you got to ask yourself is, do I enjoy markets and trading or not? And if you're just starting out, then you're going to have to, just try it. But, if you get in and sitting here for 2 hours and watching it do nothing is really boring to you, then you probably don't want to. Probably not going to last for very long. I'm just noticing this spread trade here. Is there some steepening coming into the market now? But they ticked it down. Well, I suppose if I had taken that short around 22, that I would be happy that it ticked down at least. There's a lot of speculation that John Bolton is the second whistleblower. I bet. If I was John Bolton, I don't know. I think John Bolton is a pretty smart guy. If I was John Bolton, I would be saying inserting myself into this won't help.
Twitch, Nia_Kalepo, is there serious money to be made here?
Oh, for sure. Well, think of it this way, Nia. If I could get in here, well, if I had gone short at 22, okay, every tick is $15 essentially, okay? So we would have made 32.25 so far. And if it gets to 20, which is actually pretty likely, you make $62. Okay, it's not that much. If you get a good run, like you had caught this move here earlier today, you could have caught 8 to 12 ticks from that. That's, $125 to $180 or so. Okay. So that's how much like one trade would be. But to make that trade, you have to put up $500 in margin. And you're probably going to want more than $500, right? Because you could lose. But for me, the max that I'm willing to lose is $62 in any one trade. Okay. And I would rather only lose like 32. But, okay. So if you have $500 and then it goes against you Now you have less than $500 in your account, they
YouTube
close it.
stick bal. Categorical thinking is thinking by assigning people or things to categories and then using the categories as though they represented something in the real world.
Right. This is different from what real life, the real world justifies categorization.
YouTube stick bal. For example, we think of people as either male or female and force them to fit into one of the categories, even when it doesn't seem to fit at all well.
Well, it fits for like 90, 89% of the cases. Although, well, genetically speaking, at least. Well, what was I saying? So that's how much you can make on one contract, $500. If you only have $500 in your account and you lose, then they close your account. Well, they don't close the account. They close the trade out, and then you can't trade it anymore because you don't have enough margin, right? So probably you want to have more than $500 in there, right? Probably you want to have enough so that, you look at the longest losing streak that you have, that you would be able to comfortably survive that losing streak.
Twitch, Nia_Kalepo are making a trade RN?
No, I didn't take one. You would see stuff in this column if I had taken one. Right? So I guess I could show you. This is just a sim though, so if it goes in, but let's see if we can pull a tick out here just for the kicks and giggles so that you can see what it looks like, all right? But the point is that, you want to have more than that. So maybe, like a really good starting point would be like $5,000. And then only trade one contract and then size up as you go. Okay? But you size up as you go, right? On Friday, I made $250. That's half of a contract, right? Another trade like that, and I could trade another contract if I wanted to.
YouTube stick bal. Seth, I literally just copied and pasted that off Google. I didn't write it.
Yes. I figured that probably you did. But it was exactly the point it was getting at. Man, they move without me. Hell, I don't know if I want to hit into 20.5 or 20. We'll just wait and see. Anyways, so that's half a contract, okay? So then you can trade two. So now, one tick is $32. Two ticks is 62. Like it increases very quickly, right? And so if you were able to trade 10 contracts, for instance, okay, and to trade 10 contracts, you would need $5,000 minimum, but then you would probably want a lot more than that because you could lose so much so quickly, right? But, if you traded 10 contracts, man, then think about that. One tick is $1,000, is $100, And if you catch an 8 ticker, that's $1,000. I don't know how much money you make a month, but $1,000 isn't chump change to me. So it can scale very quickly if you get big. And the thing is in this market, you can get big because look at how much they're putting thousands at every level. So you could literally be trading 100 lots at a time and the market might not even blink at it. It might move down. I'm a little miffed that it didn't get filled. But the interest is decreased here, so I'm not as interested in it anymore. So there is real money in it, but you just got to keep in mind most people don't make that much. Something like 80% of traders don't make money at all. Of the people that survive 3 to 4 years, maybe half of those, probably even less than half of those, make money long term in it. So very unlikely. But a lot of that has to do with they're trading the wrong things and all these other sorts of things. I don't know. I've done this enough and I have enough results to sit down and confidently tell you that you can do it in the 10-year treasury. But it's going to take a lot of work. And the amount that you make is not like astronomical unless you already have a ton of money. So E-mini is still turning up. But the cumulative delta is extremely uncertain. was still thinking about this event today, and like, how do I get tickets? How does I get tickets?
Twitch, Nia_Kalepo. How many people do you reckon is involved in this whole thing?
Oh, thousands of people. I mean, anybody can trade it, but you're gonna have, each bank is going to be involved. They're going to be taking trades as all the big banks, and countries get involved in this. The Chinese buy treasuries, the Japanese buy treasuries. Every government buys treasuries, and they may come into the futures market and hedge themselves as they do so. There's always big traders and small traders and thousands of people. Back when it traded on the floor, back when it was like an open outcry pit, and that was really the only way to do it, like back, the 70s and 80s, there would be, between 1 and 5,000 people just in the treasury pit. And you would have to assume that the move over to electronic trading, that number is only higher. I like to say it's the longest running massive multiplayer game in existence. So this is really what it is. It really is a game to an extent, Well, I wonder, can I
Twitch, Nia_Kalepo. What do you do for work and where in the world are you?
what you do for work? Well, so I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. And for my day job, I am a software engineer. I've done a lot of different things in software engineering, but right now what we're doing is site reliability engineering. So we engineer solutions that our developers can use to determine if there's something wrong with the system and if they need to handle it. Like a web server is down or whatever. It's already, that trade down has already kind of played out. They might move up again, but I'm not sure about that. I don't know. I need to step away for a second, so I'll be right back. Right? Let's see if they move up from here or not. Oh, look, I didn't miss anything. Man. I think that trade, if we had been able to catch it at 22, would have been a really great trade. But when I get that spike there at 19, it would have taken off. Would I have gotten filled at 19? I don't know if enough went in there or not.
YouTube, Stickball. Just think about the next trade, Seth. Keep thinking forward.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was kind of part of my thought process there in saying that was I was thinking, wow, I got 15 minutes left before I usually stop trading. As were you actually going to get enough of something in the next 15 minutes to be worth taking a trade? I don't know. I mean, the E-mini, they've moved 10 points. 10 points isn't bad or anything, but okay. So that could be a buy. I'm a little weary about that though. Why there? And it's not like, well, I'd like to say the market's not really reacting to that strong bid that they just put on there, but usually it takes a second. Like often it'll be like a second and then they'll hit into it and then it's already too late and you're like, "Oh no, we should have done it." And then it takes off. But so that could be a trap. That could be, you know, them just trying, that could be a lure. It's 27 though. Had a pretty good reaction time on that. Let's see if it gets us in. Okay. So they're not really holding it super strong at 20 yet. Not enough flowed back into it to fill us. I'm concerned about, you know, they're going to trade 600 and then nothing fights back into here and then they hit back into 19.5 and that pulls and it's just down. That certainly happens. That's kind of the way that this sort of a thing would fail. Or they could just not fill me. That happens too. The way the bid and offer are dancing here, there kind of does seem to be some increased interest in it, but not actually enough to move them over into market orders yet. So I'd be worried about buying 20.5. Well, there you go. Would have been good. I don't think that you'd get filled at 20.5. Well, that 21.5 isn't pulling away or anything. That's an iceberg at 20.5. Actually, would have gotten filled there. Fine. Oh, man. I'm still too concerned about it ticking back down. I'm probably being way too cautious here. I mean, there would have been two. Would we get 4 though at 22? Could do. The E-mini is certainly turning there. Turning down. I mean, this iceberg, they might bust. I don't know. I really don't think I'm going to get filled here at 20, but I think it's worth leaving it there just because, wow. We're going to have to be careful because if they trade if they trade into 20 and we get filled, okay, if they trade like 50 and we get filled and then it checks back up, then awesome. But if they trade down into 20, okay. 18 went in. Okay. So we could, I would love to see another hit, but if they hit like, 1,000 there, then that's really bad, right? They're actually holding the offer for now. Still some stacking behavior on the bid below us. Oh, come on. 11. Just 11. That's all we need. No, don't trade 1,000, please. Just 11. 11 is all we need. Ugh. That is not what we wanted to have happen right there. Okay, well, they're holding the bid at 19.5. Maybe are they testing him? Are you the real deal? Okay. E-mini appears to be a part of why it's doing this. E-mini kind of showing some sell pressure again, and we ticked up. But it's being fickle. Okay, well, the offers pulled. Not a lot hitting it, though. This could stack. There's even more now stacked at 19.5 than there was before. I think that before they were like 3,000, 3,500. Now they're like 37, maybe possibly 4,000 here in a second. So I definitely feel like somebody's potentially making a bet here. Haven't gotten any kind of like outsized signals in here. I'm certainly seeing a lot of activity in the 30-year in this location. So if they were going to buy, they would want to be buying in the 30-year for sure. Because the general trend has been flattening. Still, it's not quite. I don't know. It's going to take something else. Probably the E-mini falling out. Like the E-mini is right there at the open. Yeah. So it was a little bit of a down and then up in the E-mini, and the Treasuries did react to it. Okay. Well, the 20 is handling that okay. Some iceberging there. So I don't know if our new Twitch friends are still watching, but can you see this column here now? It tells us how much we make or lose at each price. Okay. Uptick. Good. Ooh, look at the way the 21 pulled. They're kind of throttling, like they're expecting something now. So he's going to try and push it out of this range. Well, there you go. There's one tick. Okay. Interesting. Pretty aggressive uptick that time. There's 1,400 behind it. Well, it still ticks down. 1,500 contracts absorbed. And E-mini is still kind of trudging along, maybe slightly higher. And now it's gone. So let's see if we can get out here, because that certainly is not positive. Doesn't mean that they won't try and make it push again, but that was a clear failure. So there you go. I made a tick. Yay! Could have made 3. When it ticked up there, I was like, okay, let's move it down and take 4, because we do have to get going soon. But then it only gave us 3. Did it give us? Yeah. Oh, that actually is telling me the MFE was maximum. MFE was 2. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, maybe it still goes. It could just be a pullback, but I didn't like this right here. You see this? If we like really zoom in, Okay. He was clearly trying to get it to pump up there, but then they just let it come back with no problem. So that probably means, I mean, it doesn't mean that they won't try and push it up again. It just meant that they were done for now. Probably not a signal worth waiting for. What's Donald Trump talking about now? The radical left Democrats have failed on all fronts, and now they are pushing local New York City and state Democrat prosecutors to get President Trump. A thing like this has never happened to any president before, not even close. Good, okay uptick. He hit into 21. He also said, Heritage Foundation, these numbers are blockbusters. Since Donald Trump took office, median family incomes are up over $4,000. In 8 years under President Obama, they only went up $1,000. In 1/3 of the time, President Trump has increased incomes 4 times as much, and that doesn't even include the $2,000 cut the families got from the Trump tax cut. That's from Stephen Moore. Oh, he should have been on the board. Oh well. That means 5,000 to 6,000 more in disposable yearly income that Americans have right now because of President Trump.
YouTube, Stickball, do you have a high refresh rate monitor? Or just a normal 61?
I do have a high refresh rate monitor. What makes you ask that? That's a curious question. You watching? I've been searching for high refresh rate monitors. Have you been reading my search history? No. Now they're still sitting there. See, so this is exactly why it would
YouTube,
have been good to cut out.
does it work better? YouTube, Stickball,
for trading.
trading.
So I wouldn't say that there's any specific tangible benefit in terms of like, I mean, I suppose yes, if you set your, your update interval here in Jigsaw really, really low and everything like that you are going to see more updates. But I think to me, the real benefit is that a high refresh rate is just easier on the eyes. I leave the strobing off. That's another thing that's important to look at is like, what are beyond just does it refresh well, but what are the pixel response times? Does it have motion blurring? What are the viewing angles? In this case, the motion blurring, you don't want the anti-motion blurring stuff on because you don't want the strobing. That's harder on your eyes. But I do think that this monitor seems to be easier on my eyes than this monitor, even though they look almost exactly the same picture-wise to me. But I think it's more just the benefit of getting a really nice monitor, Like if I was going to get one for trading, I would either get a high refresh rate monitor or I would get a 4K monitor. totally recommend it, though. You can just see on so many things, like even just, you take a window and move it around. When normally you'd see a lot of, I don't know, trails, and you can, if you move it fast enough, you can see the different refreshes, because it'll be here, and then next refresh will be here, and then here. But with 144, it's so smooth, you know? And I think that makes a difference to me. So, totally recommend them. And I mean, if you're gaming, then you basically, if you want to win, you get the 140. It makes a huge difference. Doesn't mean you can't get good at the games without it, but oh my gosh, it makes a huge difference. You will play better with a high refresh rate monitor. Appeals court in New York grants temporary stay of ruling. Yay. Well, I don't want to say yay because that's a partisan, but they made the right decision. I think this rule is totally unconstitutional, but wow. There are not two standards, says NBA dude who apologized to China after China uphold its money when he criticized it. Whoa, they apologized to them? Man. They really got them by the balls over there, man. There's absolutely nothing wrong with what the Rockets owner said. Absolutely nothing wrong. Sorry for those of you in China. Where did we take it? Oh, yes, it was at 20. Hey, we could have, maybe we'd be getting our 3 or 4. Maybe. It kind of does look like when it wants to tick up. But it's happening on, it's happening slow, and it's not our trade. This would have just been kind of like if we had held it and it had gone up, maybe we just kind of got lucky. Stand for freedom, boycott the NBA. What? Oh, yeah, totally. There's simply no reason to support the NBA after its pathetic decision to side with China's oppressive, totalitarian regime over pro-democracy protests in Hong Kong. Yeah. Oh, and Olipundun is saying 100%. Yeah, I agree. I'm a little upset that they are siding with China. They're basically groveling. Oh, please don't take your money out. F you. And it's the unfortunate challenge of our time. Like, obviously there's lots of challenges, but when you look at the tactic, the thing that they do that works, that as our true, the true thing to overcome, to convince people to push against, it's the money. So they say, well, if you don't do what we want, then we will just take our money elsewhere. Good. I don't want that money. Me personally, if I have to allow genocide to happen in China, oppression of free people in Hong Kong, if that's what I have to do to make money, I'd rather be poor. That's me. I know I'm ranting, but man, that's just what's going through my head right now. I'm really disappointed in them. I haven't watched the NBA in a while, but now I'm definitely not gonna watch the NBA. 1, 2, 3, 4. They get 22. If they touch 22, then we'll be like, okay. Nope, they didn't. Only 3 went into it. And look, 21-20. I don't know. They may yet do it, but the E-mini is not actually like selling down hardcore yet. So I don't know. Well, let's run it for a little bit longer. I need to post my Patreon notes so we can let it go while I'm doing that. It's kind of funny the way that the Patreon works. If I lose a person, I usually gain a person. It's stayed incredibly consistent.
YouTube, wrong ZH. How is it today?
How is what today? Bitcoin? Well, they had a good buy, but I'm gonna say they still appear negative to down, and that doesn't look like something I would like to touch. They might give it to us at 22. This is like a slow mover. Those are hard to hold. That right there would have been an out though. So still would have only taken 3 on it potentially. Man, that's tough. And how long did we have to hold that to even get 1? 6 minutes? Well, that's not that bad. All right, guys. Well, it's nothing too impressive for you today, but it might be like that all week. Let's see what happens tomorrow. We do have inflation numbers, right? I'm concerned. Well, should I be concerned? I'm thinking that the inflation numbers might be lower than expected, just like the personal income was lower than expected, and maybe Treasuries continue to push up. I don't know, but there's this whole trade war thing makes it a tough call. So I'm still really reluctant to put risk on. And you can see, even though the institutions were there, we had one move and then it was rough. So I think we made the right choice. So guess what? I will see you guys tomorrow. Please give us a like.
YouTube,
if you haven't already.
CYA Seth.
See you, Stick. Please subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you can find us when we stream every morning. Every morning. Check out the Patreon if you haven't. Really good stuff if you're interested in the Bitcoin market. And I think I should add some stuff in there for you guys that's not just Bitcoin to give some of you guys that are interested in other stuff an incentive. But I have to think about that, what I can do. So I will see you guys tomorrow. And in the meantime, stay profitable.